All right, I think it's recording. I'm bad at technology things, but here we are with Sam. So I'm just going to start asking you questions, and if there's any questions that you don't like, you can just say like, hey, let's skip that or whatever. It's super cash. Okay. What is your Harry Potter Patronus?
According to Pottermore, it says it is a horse, but I don't like horses, so I just picked my own.
I got a horse too. Like, what's your own one?
I don't like it. Yeah. So I decided to pick a cheetah because I feel like that's more my personality.
A what? A cheetah?
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to choose my own, which is a very slippery thing to do.
Why a cheetah?
Because cheetahs are fast, and I feel like, well, not only are they fast, right? They are spotted, and they're so expressive. Like a cheetah, people can hardly keep up.
The noises.
That's what I feel like all the time. What? Is that my?
I love like the noises they make and stuff too. Like
exactly. They make really cool noises, but sometimes I feel like that all the time, where I feel like people can't really keep up with me. But I also feel like I would choose a cheetah because I'd want them to protect me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like cheetahs are predators first and foremost. So, rare.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. What is a hobby that you have or would like to have?
I have so many. I do MMA, and I am an author, which that's more of a career, but I love to read. I sing. I do dance as well, hip hop dancing. So rock climbing, lots of things. Hiking. I love hiking.
I love that you got me into like kickboxing. That's so cool.
Yes. Are you still going?
No, I'm not going just because of COVID, but like I have a bag. I make my own class.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so you have like a million hobbies. What's a hobby that you don't have but want to have? Or is it like once you want one, you just do it?
Yeah, that's usually what it is for me. Like I feel like I'm pretty well rounded, but I also recognize that there's seasons in my life, and depending on the season in my life, I'll pick the hobby that best fits. Because for a while it was puzzles, right? Because I just needed a lot of calm in my life. Just need to be grounded. But sometimes I need more movement in my life, and that's when I usually get more into sports or different things. But if I were to pick one, I think I've always languages. I think I would want to study languages, and I just haven't because I haven't really had a need to. But I think it would be really cool to be bilingual.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
If you could be reborn as absolutely anything, inanimate object, a theory, yourself, another person, an animal, whatever, what would you want to be reborn as?
That's a cool question. Okay. I think I would want to be reborn as the concept of creativity. Just because I have a theory that what brings life to people is connection and creativity. If I was going to choose one of those to come back as, probably creativity. I think everybody could use more creativity.
I like that. Would you like haunt people with creativity and like just?
Yeah, exactly. I just be like, listen,
you just got punched.
I don't care if you don't want to live your life. I'm going to force you, whether it's subtle or whatever.
Or not so subtle.
Yeah, exactly.
More likely. What is a soft fear that you have? Like not your biggest, deepest, darkest fear, but just something that like kind of freaks you out.
An irrational fear?
Sure.
I think I texted this to you once. I have this weird irrational fear that somebody's going to hit me in the face with a tomato when I'm wearing a white shirt. And then it'll spill over on my shirt and everyone will be like, why are you bleeding? And I'll be like, no, somebody hit me in the, I don't know why. I can totally see things just like coming at me. And I would It's this, I've had that fear seriously since I was probably 15.
And it's only when you wear a white shirt?
Yeah, it's only when I wear a white shirt because I feel like other shirts, I'd be able to hide it a little bit better. But with a white shirt, then I don't know.
Can't hide anything.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm very particular about that one. But
I like that. That's great. What is your ideal day? What would you want to do on an ideal day? Yeah.
Giving me rough questions. I'd rather have an ideal month. This is why I celebrate birth
Okay,
month.
what's your ideal month? Sure.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm the kind of person, this is my theory about birthdays instead of birth months instead of birthdays. You can't actually do everything you want to do in a day. So you should take a month to do it. And a month should give you adequate enough time. So I think my ideal month would be spent reading, doing a lot of reading, learning something new, whatever that is, whether I choose a skill or, I don't know, learning something. I would probably spend it on a beach because I love beaches. I would sleep in a lot. And I'd probably take one day out of those days to just meet people that I've always wanted to meet. And then I'd probably take a couple days to go visit places that I wanted to visit because I do like to see the world. And, you know, granted, there's not a pandemic going on, but
right, in an ideal world, there's not a pandemic. So.
Yeah, in an ideal world, right? So if there's a perfect month. And then, yeah, I think even though I am adventurous and I'd want to do all those things, majority of my time I'd want to spend just doing the things that I love with the people that I love. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Who's a character that you relate to from a movie, book, show, or whatever?
So I have a list, but I think
I bet you do, honestly.
The most obvious one that I think that I'm kind of known for is Wonder Woman. And it's not even just because she's a freaking goddess. No, I'm not saying I'm a goddess, but I think I love her. No, I think I relate to her as well just because just for what she stands for. She stands for people. She's a great example of being a woman and still also being strong. And I would love to be that in the world. And I think she gives people hope, right? And I think there's enough suffering in the world to go around. And she's one of those people who, if she's going to interact with you, she's going to leave you with a sense of hope. So I would say Wonder Woman.
Inspiring.
Thank you.
What are some of your pet peeves?
Not doing the dishes.
Like when other people don't do the dishes?
Yeah, when people don't do their dishes. I think I have some trauma from when I was a freshman in college because my roommates did it.
Man.
It was the worst. So that, and then also people who make assumptions about other people. So maybe they'll project things on other people, right, that are their own issues, really. Judgy people. Like, I know we all judge, but to the point where you're interfering in somebody else's life, right? Where it's like, okay, can we calm down? Most of mine are like interactions. Like I don't like it when people interrupt me. It does bother me. I also don't like it when people don't, because I'm an author, I don't like it when people misuse words. So if they're saying a word, like, I'll give you an example. I catch Brian doing this all the time. He's my boyfriend, but he'll say, yeah, no, I don't like that. And I'm like, so is it yes or is it no?
I swear, like, that's,
please.
I forget. My friends and I were talking about that, though, and they're from California, and we both do it. And we were like, is that a Pacific Northwest?
I think it might be.
Like,
I don't.
Yeah, no, or no, yeah. And it's like, no, yeah means yes, but like, yeah, no.
Right.
Means like,
it's
no.
so confusing to me. I'm like, why? But yeah, so misuse of words. I'm very particular about how words are used. So
that's a good one. Going along with that, do you have any unpopular opinions?
Oh, so many. I feel like I'm a walking contradiction. I don't know how political we want to get on here, but I would say...
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, I would say, so, I mean, if we're going to be real, I'm not impressed with the current president of the United States. I don't think that's necessarily controversial, but I think what is probably controversial and unpopular is my extreme view of that. I think Lizzie knows this, I tend to get really intense and extreme either way. And so there's that. I also, I have a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily say this is unpopular because we are now living in an age where people are more accepting and tolerant of things, but I am bisexual, so I do stand by a lot of these bigger movements that are going on, right? So like the queers, I'm pro polyamory for people who do want to do that, right? I think, honestly, I'm a little bit hippie on the inside. I really think people should just be allowed to do what they want. And I really do believe that, hey, that's a Wonder Woman quote. She says, I believe that love can change the world. It's not about what you deserve.
You're very free-spirited.
I am. So I just want people to like be able to live the life they want to live. So I would say it's not always popular though, right? Because some people usually have an idea of what they think you should do. And I'm like, well, but what works for you doesn't work for everyone else. So other unpopular opinions, I'm trying to think. I don't, this is an interesting one because people get mad at me for this one. There's a book that's very popular in the fantasy world and I didn't like it. I was very not impressed. It's called The Name of the Wind. And I thought it was, I can see why people liked it, but I was not impressed. I'm like, I was actually really sad because it's been on my list for forever. And I was real sad about it. Also the DC universe. Ironically, even though Wonder Woman is my favorite, DC, I could go on about endless why that whole, they effed up all of their, every single one of their movies. I'm like, this is terrible. Also, I hate Superman. That is a very unpopular opinion. Like, he's the worst.
Yeah, you're the queen of unpopular opinions.
I am, apparently.
I like it. I think that's why we first became friends. We were like both kind of.
Yeah, like, because we were both, it's true. You're a lot more quiet about yours. But
depends on the time, but yes.
That is true.
You're much more outspoken about them, which I also like about you. Okay, what is something you say a lot, or like your phrase, like, or it could be a gesture. Like if I were to make fun of you, or if someone in your family was to make fun of you, what would be their go-to thing?
I do talk with my hands a lot. So like, I do like, very like expressive with my hands. And what do I say? I don't know, babe. What do I say? Oh, that's true. Lately, I at work, it's a phrase that everybody at work uses, and it's spelled YERP, and it's just like yerp, and that's what I do all the time. I'm just like yerp, just whenever I'm just acknowledging somebody, like yerp. So
okay,
I'll say that.
What is this is the last question. What's your favorite thing about yourself?
It's changed, actually. I if you'd asked me within the last couple of years, I probably would have said self-expression, just because that's kind of what I'm known for. But the last few months, I think it's actually compassion. I think my life has taken me down a direction of lots of different grief and tragedy and trauma. And I like that my sense of empathy allows me to connect with other people. So, and I can't do that without compassion.
Mm-hmm. That's a great quality.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say to the people?
Lizzie is awesome.
She's awesome.
Also, all the Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my thing. Love it. And I guess, well, seeing as how we are delivering this at a time of COVID, I don't know how dated this is going to be, but in general, I still think this is a good theme to leave most people with, which is just that your voice matters. Like, your voice matters, your life matters, you matter. And in a time when, at least right now during COVID-19, when we don't have nearly as much interaction as we would like, I hope you feel seen. Like, I hope you understand that you matter.
Amen. Well put, Sam. That's partially why I'm doing this. I want people to be able to kind of meet people without having to meet
awesome.
people, you know? So, yeah.
And then get to know them, right? I think it's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you for participating. Thanks for letting me interview you.
Of course.